Hey guys, welcome back to Music is My Mantra podcast. It's going to be the last episode in February, and I love February because February has February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Obviously, this episode is coming out after that, but traditionally, it's one of my favorite holidays. I'm definitely a hopeless romantic, and I love talking about love. And this isn't just romantic love. It's about loving yourself, and that's really a huge key to a lot of things in life. Going off of the topic of love, a big lesson that I've had to learn in my life is how to love myself. Today, I'm going to talk about how your voice is a direct reflection of how you love yourself. If that seems kind of ridiculous, well, hear me out. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling confident, it's very easy to speak? Your voice is strong and clear, and then on a day or in a moment where you're not feeling so confident, suddenly it might start to shake, or you get really quiet, or you might not speak at all. You might just go silent. How you speak, how you sing, and how you express yourself is a direct mirror of how you love yourself. And here's how. First, I'm going to give you a little personal example. I grew up singing, and when I moved to New York and decided that I wanted to pursue music instead of marketing and fashion, which I thought that I went there to do, my voice was very soft. It was very quiet. It sounded like a folk singer, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's totally different than what it is today. Granted, I have had voice lessons, I've worked with multiple different coaches, but all of this has come from trying it over and over again and building that self-confidence and love and respect for myself, because I was finally following what it was that was on my heart and what I was meant to do in this lifetime. The very first moment that I realized that self-love and my voice were connected was probably around 2012. I was working at this American Texas-style restaurant called the Brooklyn Star. It was in Brooklyn, as is in the name. I was surrounded by a lot of other musicians and creative people. And so I went to an event. It was some sort of charity fundraiser for somebody in the community. I had been a fan of one of the performers singing. She was this woman named Nicole Atkins, and I still think she's really beautiful, very talented. I saw her performing around the city. I knew that she was friends with a guy that I really liked at the time, and they were all musicians together. I wanted to go and support this cause and see them perform. I just remember getting there, and I was super not comfortable watching her. I felt anger. I felt jealous. I felt super jealous because I saw that she was up there performing and I wasn't. And I didn't even know her. And I wasn't even actively performing out at that point in time. I recognized that it was jealousy, but I didn't really, there were so many different feelings and things attached to that. I didn't know it was my voice at the time, but that was the thing that triggered me into wanting to actually perform music and be a musician that could be on stage and play in this type of event. And so it might not be something blatantly obvious that makes you think, oh, I need to start singing or writing songs or practicing speaking or something like that. You might reflect after this episode and realize that if you did work on your voice in some capacity, that it actually could help you get more aligned in other areas of your life. And this is what our emotions are meant to do. They're meant to show us things about ourselves so that we can learn what we like, what we don't like, and get on that path of following your destiny, or, you're living your best life, or whatever you want to call it. Back to the voice self-love connection. The tone, power, and presence of your voice all reflect your inner self-beliefs. If you don't trust yourself, people can hear it. If you doubt your worth, it shows in the way that you speak or sing. or don't say anything. So here are a few questions to ask yourself. Do you find yourself staying quiet when you actually have something to say? Do you shrink back when you're about to say something in a group setting? Do you say, just kidding, or do you feel the need to apologize often when you're in the middle of a conversation? Both of these things can be deflecting the attention off of you. So using your voice has a lot to do with how comfortable you are being seen and being heard. When you are comfortable with being heard, you probably have a high belief of value, that you are valuable. You have something valuable to contribute to the world. You have something smart to say. If you always find yourself choking on your words or getting so tied up in your head that you can't get the right words out, then you probably have a negative belief in there somewhere that you're not smart or that you aren't worthy enough. It comes to self-love because we are the only ones that can truly give ourselves these positive beliefs. And it's all about how we speak to ourselves that will start to build the positive beliefs to change our patterns. I have a recent story of losing my voice, and not in the typical way of like screaming too much, but last month I was in this same space as Lizzo. I just totally lost my voice. I just went silent. It wasn't necessarily like I had been in the same room as her before, but in this case, I've never one-on-one interacted with her. I had this moment where she was going to help with checking the mics. And so I picked up both of the mics and she goes, "Are you going to do it?" And instead of saying something funny or like handing her the mic immediately or just being like kind and welcoming and saying something, I just didn't say anything and I handed her the mic and then we did like a mic check. But I just like walked away from that situation because, deep down, I think I had this belief that she's better than me because I used to listen to her music on repeat when I was running the Strand to feel pumped up and get excited about life or get mad, get angry, just to get running, basically. There's always more layers to discover. And the more that you live life, the more that you can really see where your beliefs are. But the way that your voice comes out in the world is a direct reflection of your beliefs about yourself. Even Beyoncé admits that she had to create Sasha Fierce to feel confident on stage. Confidence is not something that you're born with, but it's something that takes practice. And it comes with obstacles that we are conditioned with for our whole lives. Our role models might not be the best, or the shows that we watched when we were younger, or we might have had an experience that didn't really mean anything to us, but stuck with us and made us believe something about ourselves that wasn't true. Take a few minutes. I want you to just think about what you do when all of a sudden you realize that you have to go and approach someone and say something or ask a question that might be out of your comfort zone to somebody, whether it's somebody that you know or a complete stranger. What do you do when you speak to them? How does it make you feel? When you're in a group setting or somebody that you're not 100% comfortable with, do you say just kidding a lot? Do you apologize a lot? Who are these people that are making you feel this way? Or is it all the time? Because if it's all the time, then you really have something to look at. Certain people can never make you feel a certain way. It's always how we perceive that person and what we make it mean about us that makes us feel some way. People can't make us feel something. We feel something about somebody because we make something mean something about us, whether it's true or not. If you feel frazzled and you can't get the words out and then you feel like the moment has passed and you always come back to this feeling of like, I am never heard. People don't hear me. That is a belief that you can work on. Everything in your reality is a mirror to yourself. So if you hate being on camera, if you hate hearing your voice, either in a recording or on video, there's something there that says something about how much you love and respect yourself. I'm calling a lot of people out, and this is something also that we're all working on in some way. We all have insecurities. If you want to improve your life, If you want to feel better, if you want to feel more confident, if you want to make more money or find love or whatever it is, you have to start with loving yourself. Here are a few practical ways that you can do that using your voice that will take very little effort on your part. So, first of all, go back to those questions that I asked and just start, maybe make a note in your phone or write in your journal. What are the things that come up as I went through that list? Who are the people that make me decide something about myself and make me feel bad or quiet? Or maybe you don't even know what the emotion is yet, but you realize that you're always quiet around this person. So why is that? Just write a note about it. And the more you think about it, it'll come clear. And maybe it's just something that you need to practice speaking up around this person. But maybe it is a deeper belief that you think that they're better than you, in which case you can let that go because nobody's better than you. If they have something that you want, then it's an opportunity for you to work towards that something. And if you believe that it's not possible for you, then it's absolutely not possible for you. Because the very first step in making something happen is believing that it's going to happen and working every day with that belief in mind that it is moving in that direction. And you have to feel worthy enough, and you have to trust yourself, and you have to love yourself to be able to believe something positive about yourself. Because our mind is really good at playing tricks, protecting ourselves by thinking something simple and easy instead of hard and impossible. But nothing is impossible if you're actively working towards it, if you believe that it's possible for you. I've worked with a lot of small business owners and course creators. I really believe that showing up on camera is the first step to creating your own personal brand. There's brands out there that don't have faces, and that's a whole internet thing now. People just want to connect with other people. If you have a story to tell, or if you have words to speak or something to sing, these are all ways that we express ourselves. And if you find yourself going quiet or not saying anything, or it's not coming off confident, these are all areas of improvement for your life. Areas that you can get better at, and you can get stronger, and you will see massive, massive change. I want you to try this for 1 week. As we've been talking a lot about mirrors and how our emotions show us things about ourselves, one of the most powerful ways to change self-belief, change a negative self-belief into a positive one, is called mirror work. And this is literally where you stand in front of the mirror, you look yourself in the eye, and you speak to yourself. And while this might feel really silly or sound really basic and stupid, it's very powerful because it's essentially looking at yourself without judgment, practicing getting to know yourself with confidence. Another form of this would be listening to yourself on a record or like a voice memo, or taking a video of yourself and watching it back. If you are watching it back, or if you're listening and you are like, I hate this, I feel so much emotion around this right now, that is something deeply to look at, because you can learn so much about yourself and you can totally transform your life by starting there. Let's just use the mirror method as an example. This is powerful because it's real time. So I want you to, every single morning while you're brushing your teeth or after something around that time, stand in the mirror and look at yourself and repeat over and over, I choose to love and trust myself. I choose to love and trust myself. I choose to love and trust myself. I now choose to love and trust myself. I now choose to love and trust myself. I choose to love and accept myself. I choose to love and accept myself. I choose to love and accept myself. I now choose to love and accept myself. And as I'm saying this might sound really simple, but if you're standing in the mirror and you're having a terrible morning, this could be the game changer for you, because It's hard. It's hard to sit there and look at yourself and feel it and actually believe it. But you're setting the intention for your day in that moment. You're practicing what it feels like to love and trust yourself. Even if you're not necessarily thinking of something in that moment or feeling it, it's like your words and your voice and your body are all aligning. Take this affirmation, go practice it every morning, and just see what happens. Things will start to shift and align. And if you do have a really hard time saying this affirmation, just trust that it will get easier. And you can also add in a word, I now choose to love and accept myself. That will also shift the energy behind it. There are the basics. Your voice, how you sing, how you speak, the tone, the power, the presence, all of this is tied into your self-talk, to yourself, mostly your belief around self-worth. If you have a low self-worth, I just don't think that that's acceptable, because everybody should feel like they deserve to be here and that they're valuable, that they have so much potential. Everybody should feel worthy of love and attention and of nice experiences and good food, all of the beauty and amazing things that the world has to offer. I'll wrap up this episode with a little extra mantra for you, if you will. Just remember that you are worthy. And if you're not feeling like that, if you don't believe that you are good enough or whatever it may be, I hope that you found this episode valuable. Maybe you'll start to sort of pay more attention to the thoughts and emotions that come up when certain things happen. You can totally change your life this way. The power is in your hands, and the knowledge is available, and the practice and the devotion is available. And whether that's through music or through mirror work and saying affirmations every morning, it all comes together. So to finish things off, repeat after me. My voice is powerful. I deserve to be heard. I speak my truth with confidence. Now, go live your best life, healthy, wealthy, and wise. If you enjoyed this episode today, be sure to like it, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Thank you so much. Leave us a review, and we'll see you next week on Monday for another episode of Music is My Mantra. Bye.